Snapchat me the thing what it looks like? I can't really hear you, know that, yeah?
Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 2 of The Cheap Pop. It's a very special episode today. We're coming live from YouTube again, as like yesterday. And I am joined by a super special guest today, Samantha. Sammy Madge, how's it going?
Woohoo!
Well,
hey guys!
Welcome to The Cheap Pop, episode 2. This is going to be a very interesting show. Me and Samantha, probably even her more so, the last couple of years have been a little bit critical of WWE, and it's starting to get to the point where I want to be. Hey Ryan, welcome to the stream, mate. Thank you for joining us here for the Raw review.
Critical, but we have we're big fans of big fans of WWE. We've been to a couple of WrestleManias, a couple of Raw, SmackDowns.
Yeah, just a few.
So, yeah.
You've been to a few more than me, but so she probably knows a little bit more than I do about what's going on around here. But look, we'll go through the show. So. It's a pretty big show. Raw feels like it drags on a lot more than even pay-per-views do. So we'll try and get through it as quickly as possible because there's a lot to go through. So we may as well get started. Actually, before we do, I do have the handles on screen. If you want to go and pop Sammy a follow, she does stream now on Twitch at Sammy Madge.
Thanks, Nick.
Sorry, on Twitter, it is actually at real Sammy Madge. So if you want to go on there and pop her a follow and check out her streams. She'll be streaming again very, very soon. All right, let's get into the show itself. And Raw opened with Adam Pearce standing in the middle of the ring, which Raw doesn't normally start that way. So I know you haven't watched for quite a while, so you probably wouldn't even really know exactly who Adam Pearce is, but he's basically the authority figure in WWE at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
Like the general manager, basically. Pretty much Pearce came out, obviously addressed the Royal Rumble that happened the night before, which was an absolute disaster. Pearce said Lashley will be defending his WWE title at Elimination Chamber. So what you'd obviously be wanting to do here is build up the pay-per-view correctly around the Elimination Chamber, which is in Saudi Arabia, so you know they're just doing it for money. It's pretty obvious. But you'd want to build...
That's pretty much the whole of WWE.
Yeah, she's not wrong. That is WWE to a T at the moment. But yeah, so Saudi Arabia for the first time ever hosting Elimination Chamber. Adam Pearce saying he'll defend the WWE title there. And then obviously we've got to figure out who is going to be in the Chamber match itself. Lashley and MVP actually interrupted Pearce. And they were dressed very, very sharply in their suits. It was a very fancy suit from Lashley. They obviously complained, as you'd complain of being put into a match with 5 other people. And then, then we got to obviously figure out who they're facing. So we had Lesnar interrupt them both. He was dressed to compete. I don't know if you saw my Snapchat, Sam, but I thought, here we go. Lesnar's going to have a match. They're probably going to have a rematch for the title or something.
And that was, I did see that, and I thought, oh my god, isn't this his first match on Raw after 20 years?
I don't know when the last time was that he actually had a match.
I think it's been 20 years since he had a match on Raw.
It's always pay-per-views. Very, very strange.
Yeah.
So, he came out. He confirmed that it is going to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. So that match is, as of today, official. So that's happening at WrestleMania. But he wants to make it title versus title. That's literally what he said. I don't know about your thoughts on that, but I don't want it to be title v title. What do you reckon?
No.
Definitely not?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it should be either.
No, that's fair enough. Then obviously Lesnar, after he confirmed that he wants it to be title v title, Pearce has automatically added Brock Lesnar to the Elimination Chamber match, which is complete stupidity. He should have to qualify for it. Why does nobody else have to qualify and he automatically gets put in? Or at least give us some valid kind of reason. They didn't. They just said he's in it. Obviously, Lashley was pissed off. Lashley was pissed off about it. Lesnar's in the Elimination Chamber, which takes place in 3 weeks, live from Saudi Arabia. So, that's how Raw started. Your typical start to Raw.
Only a big name would be entered straight in like that.
Pretty much. Literally, Lesnar, Ronda, all of those people, they're just there to make money, to sell out. You can't see them selling out AT&T Stadium, 100,000 people at WrestleMania, without a big name main eventing or something like that. It's not going to happen. That's why they're there.
I like his new look though, with all the like mustache beard type situation.
Yeah, it's
from cool. When I last seen him till now, it's a big difference. So, but he looks better, I reckon. He looks more bigger, like more intense.
Yeah.
Or elite.
A bit more elite. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think we want him to become more elite.
The pun.
That's for sure. All right. So first match was Nikki ASH, versus Rhea Ripley. This has been building for a few weeks. I don't know if you've seen anything, or you probably got a bit of a glimpse of it in the Women's Rumble last night. But Nikki's been attacking Rhea a lot the last few weeks. Like, they were a tag team, so it was kind of a heel turn of sorts. I don't like the gimmick. Obviously, it's superhero. No one cares.
I was just going to say childlike, silly gimmick. That's what I've got written down here.
WWE gimmick.
Are you talking about Nikki's or are you talking about Ripley's?
Nikki. I like Rhea Ripley's look and her.
Oh, I like Ripley's too. She looks beast and Yeah,
absolutely. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't like the whole almost a superhero thing. And I bet you they'll change her name to almost an anti-superhero or some shit now. Because now she's a heel. Well, doesn't that make sense? So yeah, anyway, Nikki controlled most of the match like the heels generally do. And then Ripley did eventually win via the Riptide finishing move. I don't know, to me, based on the way it ended, I think this feud is going to keep going. I don't know. I just can't see it ending. It wasn't a big match. They'll probably have a match at Elimination Chamber or something, because there's no women's chamber match from what we know at the moment. Do you reckon the feud will continue?
Yeah, probably. You know what WWE are good at? They're good at continuing something for a long time.
Yes, and then having another rematch next week and the week after. While we still sit here and wait for Veer Mahan to show up, and fucking
or
10 years later.
Reigns to become a heel.
Something like that. We'll be waiting a long time. Speaking of Veer Mahan, actually, I'll pop that in here now. They put up a promo package. I don't know when it was during the show. Again, Veer Mahan coming to Raw. He worked a dark match. There was photos live of him working a dark match before the show, which is really interesting. Because WWE tweeted it out, and you'd be like, well, you're going to tweet out that photo, and people are already replying with photos of him in a dark match, which I thought was pretty funny. What are your thoughts on Veer Mahan?
My thoughts?
Yeah.
I have no thoughts on Veer
No thoughts? When's he going to arrive?
No thoughts. It's more of a who?
Who?
To me?
Who? Veer who? We'll see what happens anyway. I don't know what their plans are with him.
No, I've heard you talk about him, but I don't know much about him, to be honest.
Just search the name on Twitter. You'll see the memes. For about 3 months, I think now, there's been a promo on Raw saying Veer Mahan coming to Raw, and he still hasn't showed up.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do know. Yeah, and he hasn't shown up, and we're still waiting 3 months later,
Exactly. So, he was on a dark match, apparently, before Raw went on air. I think the whole gimmick's going to flop.
Why would you put him on a dark match?
They're trying to obviously see his chemistry with other wrestlers, but I don't agree with it. I think the whole gimmick is going to flop, personally. All right, going through to the next match, we had The Miz in a very random match against Dominic Mysterio. This was just made up. I don't know, maybe they're going to add it to a feud, but it was just a very on-the-spot thing. Rey Mysterio was ringside. Now, Rey did have a match, which was the main event match a bit later, so he obviously wasn't going to wrestle now.
He comes out again.
Yeah, he does. And ringside, so Miz had the early goings like the heels do. And then on the outside of the ring, he actually shoved Rey Mysterio into the announce table, which was a pretty brutal spot. I don't know if Mysterio actually got hurt. He looked okay after it, but I don't think he was meant to shove him and then his elbow hit the announce table. But anyway, it looked pretty brutal from what happened there. And thankfully, Rey got up. He was okay. Towards the end of the match, The Miz ran towards the rope to obviously go against the ropes and then hit a running move on Rey. But as he ran to the rope, he fell down. You know when on the outside you've got the wrestlers who go and grab the legs to try and trip the person over? Well, as we saw, he didn't. Rey Mysterio was nowhere near him, and The Miz just fell over. I thought it was a botch. I thought it was the biggest botch I've ever seen. I thought The Miz faked it.
I watched that.
It was pretty bad. And then Miz falling over, faking it. It was the perfect Eddie Guerrero moment. He literally trolled the referee, The referee thought he got tripped up. Rey Mysterio got kicked. He got kicked out, basically shoved back to the backstage. And then during the distraction, The Miz hit Dominic with the skull-crushing finale and won the match. So that was genius from The Miz. I thought it was great. What did you think of that one?
But that match
in general?
Random. I've written here random stupid match for after Royal Rumble.
True.
I just don't know why you would have that match on the Raw after Royal Rumble. It's like the Raw after WrestleMania. You gotta back it up. You know, keep people interested.
Or have
the people that don't usually watch everything, watch the big ones. They watch the Royal Rumble, they watch the WrestleMania, and they might watch the Raw after. Make it good.
No, yeah, that's very well said. Actually, you're not wrong. Like, people are going to watch the Rumble, and then they're going to tune into the Raw, and then they're not going to tune in next week again. Just at least in the Royal Rumble, maybe have something happen. Like, obviously Miz wasn't in there, but you've got to have something happen the show before for something to make sense. It made zero sense at all.
Yeah.
There was really not much to talk about that match. The only thing I can say is I think it might start a feud now in the future, most likely.
Yeah.
It'll be another typical someone versus the Mysterio feud. Next match started off really cool. We had the KO show, and Seth Rollins was a guest. Again, I'm probably missing little backstage shit in between here, but again, it's Raw. It doesn't matter. They don't mean anything because they'll forget about it in 2 weeks. So we're just skipping to the most important things. And yeah, we had the KO show with Seth Rollins as a guest, and I think Seth is doing the best work of his career at the moment. His look, the way he's acting, kind of my favorite thing. Certainly my favorite Seth Rollins since the Shield days, I guess. And back then, which is why I loved the match last night so much. But yeah, we had Seth on the KO show. He is already in the Elimination Chamber match. He's another one. He's already been put in the Elimination Chamber match due to his performance at the Royal Rumble, apparently. I don't get that. You got that? Where is the sense in that? What do you think?
Yeah, like, I have no words. Like, how did these people just get put in? Like, great wrestler, Seth Rollins, probably my favorite.
Yeah.
And, like, he should be in there. But, like, what, just from a great performance? Let's do something to put him in there. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
Make a story. Strange. That's the thing they do differently to AEW. They don't story tell well enough.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
That's all.
I think that's the best way to put it. It just doesn't make
sense.
And
as for Kevin Owens, like, in my opinion, underutilized, great voice. Well, him and it was Austin Theory, right?
Yeah.
Great chemistry. Just, like, I don't know, it was a good match in my opinion.
Yeah, that was actually
good.
He's
just not utilized correctly.
No, definitely not. Look, I actually wanted Theory to win this match. So it was, after that happened, it was Austin Theory versus Kevin Owens for a spot in the Elimination Chamber. I would have been happy to have Kevin in there. I probably would have rather them both being in there. But it's weird with the Twitter community, the wrestling community. People are going to be angry regardless of who loses that match. So they're going to be pissed off saying, Theory needs the push. Kevin needs the push. That's a tough situation. And again, that's WWE booking themselves into a hole. They stuffed up there, whereas I think Theory could have beaten somebody else for a place in the chamber. But yeah, Seth automatically in the chamber. We then had Austin Theory beat Kevin Owens, who is now also into the Elimination Chamber. Kevin Owens obviously wasn't happy that he had to qualify. That was the initial thing going into it. He wasn't happy that Seth got an automatic place and he didn't. But yeah, Austin got the win. He avoided a apron powerbomb and then pinned him with a 1-2-3. And it was I think it was like some kind of move. I don't know if it was his finishing move. I don't really remember, but he just beat him with his finishing move. So it was pretty clean. At least it was a clean result. I have a little side note here. I don't know about you, but the Raw commentary team absolutely sucks. They're terrible. I don't know if you have the same opinion, but they suck. It's horrible.
What their issue is? They need new people. They need new people that have been watching and have a good opinion, and people want to listen to them. I don't know. They're just same old people.
Corey's the only one that has half decent idea. Him and Pat McAfee are the only good commentators. I think, is it Jimmy Smith? He's the new guy that came in like last year. Sorry, Michael Bosco's just come into chat. Sorry, Donald Quisman, I should say. Samantha looks like a DJ. I have no idea what he means by that. But we do have a silhouette up on the screen, just so you know. That is
I'm only on
audio only.
So sorry what I look like.
Yeah. And then we've also got Shane in the chat. Splash your window. Sorry, I saw that earlier. I just couldn't mention it. But he said, Sam, you look very fabulous today. Also referring to your silhouette.
Thanks, Shane. Thank you.
All right, where were we? So we were talking about the commentary team. Like, literally, so once they announced some of the Elimination Chamber participants, this is after Austin Theory had been put in the chamber. I think Jimmy Smith comes out and says, look at this lineup of legends. He called Austin Theory a legend. Where is the sense in this? This guy's wrestled, like, he's wrestled for a long time, but he's been in the WWE for a year.
You call legend like, for example, the now John Cena, like someone big like that, not this guy.
Look, I give up at the moment. Like, they call Summer Rae a legend. Enough said. Then we've got Angelo Dawkins versus Dolph Ziggler. Another randomly thrown match, I guess. I thought it was pretty random. Dolph nearly won within a couple of seconds, actually, but then Angelo kicked out. Dawkins eventually won via a double underhook slam. The only thing I can see out of this is because Dolph and Robert Roode are a team, and then obviously the Street Profits are a team. I really hope we get Dolph Ziggler versus Montez Ford. That could be a really good match, but this match, it made no sense. Like, I've been watching for a while now, and there was no sense to this match at all. What did you think of the match anyway? At least the match, wrestling-wise.
I wasn't going to really talk about the match because I only quickly skimmed through it because I just thought, wow, another Dolph Ziggler loss.
Fair call.
That's all I could think of. When it started, I just thought, oh, he's just going to lose again. And he actually, I can't believe it, he did. What is he still doing there? Like, I don't know why he's still there. Or, like, even he's also very underutilized.
He certainly
like
is.
Everyone, when the match starts, you just think this guy's going to lose.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I think about him. The match was random again. And yeah, I can't believe he's still in the company.
Yeah, very, very, very strange. He could even go and join his brother somewhere. I think, isn't he in AEW? He definitely had a match in AEW. He could go join him there one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a very underutilized talent. Put it this way, he is going to be a pretty big champion in my WWE 2K22 universe, mate. So he gets something. Okay, next match was... I don't even want to start on this. So last week, I don't know if you saw it, Sam, but before the Royal Rumble, obviously on the Raw before, Alpha Academy took on RK Bro in an academic challenge, which was a spelling bee. They literally had a spelling bee set up in the middle of the ring. I don't even want to talk about it. You know what it is. They asked people to spell shit, and Alpha Academy got it wrong. RK Bro won that challenge. So it's a best of 3 or best of 5 or something. This week, they had a scooter race.
Race, yeah, I know.
Yeah. So I haven't mentioned it earlier in the program, but at the start of the show, or towards the start of Raw, they actually had a backstage segment where they started the race, and apparently it was 50 laps around the arena. So obviously the backstage. But yeah, they had that, and then they obviously came to the ring and did what they needed to do there. But see, this is what I really don't like about the WWE. Like, I get doing funny segments, but they overdo it. 1 week was enough. They're doing it again. Like, we want to see wrestling. This is a wrestling show. Or come out and abuse each other verbally.
You don't think that this match was good?
The match itself, look, I like Riddle, but I don't know. I just can't. The match, yeah, it's good. That's the thing with WWE. For every match, I feel bad for the wrestlers. They put a lot of effort into the matches, and they're pretty good. But then it's this bullshit that happens before and after that just makes no sense. Like, they had the ending of the scooter race. Obviously, Riddle, they were neck and neck. Riddle got, Gable tripped over. and it looked like Riddle was going to win. Otis took him out right before the finishing line on the scooter, and then Gable came and won the scooter race. So they had, obviously, RK Bro win the spelling bee, which you wouldn't think they would win over the academic people. And then they had the academic people beat the sports person, the bro, Riddle. So, yeah, the whole thing, it's just very cringe. Very, very cringe. Mm-hmm. But the match was good. They ended up making it for a place in the chamber. I like that.
Well, I think Riddle sold, like, making Otis look like a beast. Like, that's what I thought when I was watching it, because I actually like Otis. I have a soft spot for him.
Okay.
So I reckon that's what I thought.
All right, nice. Yeah, look, I actually think he's good.
I think he's a good wrestler, and we haven't really seen all of his skills. But, yeah, Riddle is just on another level.
Yeah. No, Otis is actually pretty good in the ring. I don't know, just the way WWE makes their characters look, it's stupid. They look stupid in those outfits.
You laugh at him when you look at him. That's the thing.
Yeah, they can never get the characters right, except for a few people. But, yeah, Riddle, I am stoked he's in the chamber. Now, he's a dark horse to make. I don't think he'll win it, but if there's going to be a surprise or a shock, he would be the one.
Yeah,
because there was a rumor that came out yesterday after the Royal Rumble that he was supposed to win the Royal Rumble. Well, sorry, yeah, the Rumble was 2 days ago. I feel like it was yesterday, but he was supposed to win it apparently, and then they made the change at the last second. So he might win the Elimination Chamber if they go down that route. So yeah, Riddle beat Otis. That was pretty cool. I actually thought it was a decent match, like you said, Sam. And they're gonna continue. I don't know if you heard about it, but they're gonna continue with this academic challenge next week, and it's gonna be, funny enough, trivia. It's gonna be a quiz. So I'm interested to see what happens. Well, like I am, but I'm not, if you know what I mean.
But you've got to remember, like, a lot of kids watch it. That's the thing, and kids like watching this sort of stuff. Like, that's entertainment for them, and it's like,
Well, it's really all on the ratings. If the ratings stay what they are, then they're going to keep doing what they're doing. Of course. Not much we can do about it. That's how it is. So that's that for the scooter crap. Randy Orton should be there next week as well. I forgot to mention he wasn't on Raw, but he should be there next week. Next we had another women's match, Bianca Bel-Air versus Carmela. This was very straightforward, nothing to talk about. I'm not even going to mention too much, but Bianca won via the KOD. And again, I put another note here saying the most annoying part was the commentary team. It was shocking. It was every time Carmela has a match, for obvious reasons, Corey Graves, he just doesn't shut up. It's always about her. Like, we get it. You're together. We know. Good on you.
Yeah, but you got to remember who's telling him what to say, right?
Exactly.
It's probably not him.
Some of it, I think, is. And there was a pretty bad... I can't remember. Byron Saxton said something. I don't know if Corey got legitimately pissed off. But actually, yes. You know how Carmella wears the face mask? Dumbest thing, honestly. It's a stupid gimmick thing that she changed to. And then I remember Byron said, she might need to wear one around her body, to cover her body. And then I think Corey, I don't know if he legitimately thought he was talking about because she's called the most beautiful woman, that he was body shaming her. He did then afterwards say, oh no, it's not. It's just so she doesn't get hit in the stomach. It just came across so cringe and as if Corey was legitimately pissed with him talking about his girlfriend like that. But anyway, that's the problem. They were too focused about that than the match itself. It was shit. That was just there to put Bianca over.
Well, this match was no in-ring chemistry, in my opinion.
Definitely not. Well, it was just there to put Bianca over and make her look dominant. I don't even know why Carmella bothers, to be honest. She just loses every week.
I was just going to say, she's another Dolph Ziggler. Well, what's her point in being there?
Yeah. Like,
anyway.
They were the people they should have released.
Well, they just need the pretty blonde girls. Like, that's why she's there. She's there for the looks. She's there for the... And
Corey.
Yeah, she's... Yeah, and he's probably keeping it there. That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, so they can't really get rid of her, I guess. Like, she could be good. Like, all it takes is a gimmick change and let her show her wrestling ability. You just don't know these days. People think they suck at wrestling, but you'll never know without them given a chance. She might not be good.
Yeah.
Like, she seems like she's okay in the ring, but yeah, we'll never know properly with the WWE. The only thing I can see this setting up is a possible run for Bianca, and if she finds a partner to run for the tag team titles. Only thing I could see happening. Probably won't, but why else would they have done this match? Do you think this could lead anywhere else?
No.
Okay, cool. We'll leave it at that.
No, I don't. It probably can, but I don't think it should. That's what I should say. It probably will. It'll probably go on for a little bit, but it shouldn't.
Well, I don't want Bianca to be involved with them, but I do want the tag team champions to actually have a tag team feud. The women's tag team champions are never in a tag team feud. They're all in singles action, and then randomly at a pay-per-view they'll have a title match. Why are they even there? I don't know.
Is it because there's not enough tag teams?
Probably. There isn't any tag teams. Since the Iconics left, I can't think of any tag teams. There probably are. It's just not on the top of my tongue, but there's not many. Not many actual teams, put it that way. You know how WWE just make up teams and throw them into matches.
Yeah.
What was next? I think it was our main event match. Best part of the show, really. It was AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio with the final spot in the Elimination Chamber on the line. And then the winner would obviously be joining Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar, Austin Theory, Seth Rollins, and Riddle in that match. What did you make of the match, Sam?
Great match, clean. AJ Styles, his heel saga is officially over, right? Like he was like the baby face in that.
Long gone.
But he was, it was, they were both great. But that's all I have to say.
Awesome
great
match. I thought it was a pretty good match. They didn't use too much time, so it wasn't like an epic match, which you don't want on a Raw anyway. You don't want it to be a 5-star match on a Raw. As long as it's good and clean. And we had a clean winner, which was the most important thing. And the thing that I liked the most was that we got a clean finish. And you probably saw me Snapchatting. Please make sure this is a clean finish. And I thought the match itself was good. Solid. AJ won with the Styles clash. Very entertaining. I hope we do get a match between them two at a pay-per-view with 30 minutes. Which, okay, look, maybe even 15 minutes. 15 minutes is good for WWE. They're not going to give them 30 minutes, but even a 15-minute
match. Yeah, I was going to say, they needed longer. Like, they need longer.
Way longer.
Yeah.
To tell a story, anyway. That actually wasn't how the show ended. So we had, obviously, AJ join the Royal Rumble field, the Elimination Chamber field. But our main event segment was Ronda Rousey coming out. I don't know why this main evented, to be honest. I think it should have been the match, but...
It should have ended before that, yeah.
Yeah, Ronda... They could have given them that extra 15 minutes and saved this for SmackDown or something. But yeah, Ronda came out, talked about her Rumble win. She would tease who she would choose, and then out comes the man, big-time Becky Lynch. Becky mocked her as she came out, and then asked her in the ring who she wants to face at WrestleMania. We definitely didn't get a definitive answer. I think Ronda said she will tell everybody on SmackDown, or at least possibly notify everybody on Friday or Saturday here in Australia. And then as Ronda was leaving, out comes Lita to what I noted as half an okay reaction, as in it was pretty bad. Compared to Royal Rumble, it was a bad reaction. And Lita challenged Becky to a match, which, strangely, I don't get it. If you're going to come out and challenge a champion, why wouldn't you ask it to be for the title? So it's non-title at Elimination Chamber, which, yes, was accepted, obviously. And that closed the show. Lita versus Becky Lynch happening at the Elimination Chamber. Your thoughts?
So all I have to say about that is money. And it's another Ronda Rousey type, Brock Lesnar type thing. Just the name. Mm-hmm. And they want to try getting the people that have moved over to AEW like those old people, the leaders and the other people from back in the day. So the way to get them back is to put people like that in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I can see why they're doing it. I don't like it, but I understand. I get why they're doing it, but yeah, I really don't like it at all. Lita's been in a few Rumbles now the last few years. That's it. Can she still go? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to judge her. She could still be good. She could prove us wrong, but it's just annoying. She's coming back for one match, probably. Obviously for the Saudi payday. Let's be honest, we would do it if we were in the same position. I would. So you can't blame her for taking the money from the Saudi show, which is always more than any other show. But yeah, like she's gonna have the match, and then she's gone. Like there's so many people that could have that spot. I think Raquel Gonzalez from NXT, which you'll probably see more of when she gets called up, she probably deserves a shot. Indy Hartwell. Yes, Indy Hartwell has probably deserved a call up. Maybe not so much as Raquel, but she's starting to become one of the most popular people on NXT. Like, these NXT people, they need to... Then again, if you bring them up, they're just going to get buried.
Utilised?
Yeah, that's the problem. There's so many people on the main roster that I haven't even utilised yet. So it's a 50-50 thing. I'm just using them as an example anyway of why I don't think Lita should be in the match. I don't know about you, but I thought Lita, she looked a little bit sloppy in the Rumble.
Definitely did look sloppy, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how long she can go in the match. I guess we'll see, but time will tell. And yeah, I didn't like the way the show ended. I thought it was pretty lackluster. Did you like the way it ended?
No, I did not like the way it ended. I thought it should have ended with the match.
With the match?
I thought it was going to end with the match.
Me too. I thought that was half an hour, and I thought, we're going to get a half an hour match. And then after I Snapchatted about 10 minutes into the match, and I thought, all right, cool. I hope we get a clean finish to this. And I thought I was Snapchatting early, thinking the match had another 20 minutes to go. 1 minute after I Snapchat, the match finished, which was a bit of a shame. But look, we'll see what happens. If I had to rate Raw out of 5, I'd probably give it a 2. It was, again...
Out of 5?
Maybe a 1, even.
Out of 10, I would give it a 3.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, if you want to rate it out of 10, yeah, probably a 3. Which then, I guess, if out of 5, probably be a 1 then. Raw's never anything more than a 1 or a 2. Maybe last week.
Yeah, but this should be good following Royal Rumble.
Should be good. But...
Like, this should be their best one. Like,
yeah.
Make the next one crap, but make this one good.
Yeah, there's just no storylines or proper following up on storylines. Like that, there's a reason why SmackDown's getting 2.4, 2.3 million viewers and Raw's getting 1 million less. And what I'm going to say right now, it might cause a bit of controversy, but if Raw's rating does not go over 2 million people, I think Ronda Rousey's return is a flop. It's a waste. That was the whole point of her coming back. And I think it was a disaster if they don't get over 2 million viewers. You've got Ronda Rousey, and if you can't beat SmackDown's rating, who doesn't have that big of a name, like you had Lesnar and Rousey on Raw.
And if that's the point that you're putting them on there to get more ratings, and you don't get them, there's something wrong.
Yep, surely it's got to click to you, Vince. You know, you've got to realize something's got to change. So I don't know. Time will tell. We've got SmackDown coming up on Saturday. NXT, which honestly, at the state it's in right now, it's not really worth reviewing. We probably won't be reviewing that. We'll be reviewing Dynamite, but yeah, definitely not NXT. At least for the foreseeable future, because there's already quite a lot to go through. But yeah, we'll be back here for Dynamite on Thursday. In terms of who will be joining me or whether I'll be doing it solo, we'll never really know until the day. So we'll wait to see what happens there. Sam, overall thoughts on the show outside of the rating, obviously. What did you think? Any notes you want to provide?
Not really. Not
Fair.
really. Like, women, boring.
Yeah.
Men, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens. Who else do I have here that I liked? I still think even, sorry, I was just going to say, like, even The Miz, like, the way they utilize, I'm putting it up against AEW, but the way they utilize MJF on there, they don't have anyone like that can freestyle and talk about what they want to talk about. They just need to, the start as well. Like, I'm not a big fan of the big boys like Lesnar's, Lashley's, like, So overall, though, not the best. Not the worst. No, it's down there as the worst.
Yeah, it is, definitely.
It wasn't the best.
Pretty bad for a show after a pay-per-view, that's for sure. I thank God that they've changed to Saturdays. Well, Australian Sunday, because it gives you an extra day to, I guess, take in the mess that is the pay-per-view, because then 2 days later, you got absolute shit to go through again. Back in the day, you'd have to get it the next night. It would suck. Oh, yeah, there's the pay-per-view. Raw's the next day. You get garbage 2 days in a row. At least we get a day break between garbage nowadays. Look, hopefully it improves. Hopefully they fix everything, but I'm not holding my breath.
And they need a lot of work. They need a lot of work.
Yeah, well, your point about MJF is spot on, because I think Miz could do it if he was given the freedom. Like,
yeah, that's the thing though. They can't freestyle and stuff because they've got no freedom. So it's not going to happen until they are given that freedom.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no hope until that happens, unfortunately. But look, we're still going to review everything that happens. There's some good things. Like last night, the Seth Rollins Roman thing. There are some good things that happen. Like just small things like the Miz falling down and chucking the Eddie Guerrero. I thought that was good, but they always seem to do something and then stuff up either side of it. It always happens. I forgot to mention Alexa Bliss during the show. She's had more segments of coming back, but there's still no sign. I don't know if you took any notes of Alexa Bliss's promos. I don't really remember what she said. All I know is the person gave her another Lily doll. So I really don't get what they're doing with that whole thing. I know she's going to come back, but I don't know what they're going to do with her. What would you do? Would you take her back to Goddess or keep her as...
I don't really know much about her gimmicks, to be honest, but I would bring her back in a full different gimmick. If she has been away for a while, which I don't know, I would, like, she's... what's the girl from AEW? The DM...
Britt Baker.
Wait, what's her name?
Britt.
Yeah, Britt Baker. She should be the Britt Baker of WWE.
Pretty much.
I actually like her, and she can talk and stuff, so... Again, like, just change her character completely, bring her back as someone else, and...
Yeah. Well, looks like they're bringing her back as the Goddess, which was probably her best gimmick. I get it, that's just her being her, but I think it's time for a change. The whole Bray Wyatt thing didn't work. I'm just going to call it the Bray Wyatt gimmick, because that's what it was. Yeah, I don't think that worked. And yeah, it looks like they're getting rid of it, but how they're going to do that is unknown, I guess.
We will see.
Yeah, so we've got AEW coming up, Dynamite on Thursday. Really looking forward to that, actually. Coming off a couple of pretty big shows. So, look, we'll get into that review when the time comes. Hopefully Samantha will be able to join us, possibly. She is a big AEW fan. No, she's been getting into that way more than I did. She kind of probably got me converted over a little bit more because I was a bit on the fence initially, but not anymore. So we'll see what happens there. We'll definitely review it. Splashy Window 92 might come back in. We might even have a triple stream. We will see what happens on Thursday. It'll probably be the usual time. Stay tuned to socials for that. And then again, like I said earlier, you can catch Sammy Madge on Twitter at Real Sammy Madge. And then you can catch us here at Real Cheap Pop. And this episode may or may not be on Spotify yet. We are still trying to figure out how to get that all working. It's a little bit of a process, but hopefully we'll get that on there eventually, and you can catch all this on demand on YouTube as well. So thanks, Sammy, for joining me for the Raw review, the absolute garbage trash that it was. I hope you enjoyed this hour. That's no problem. I hope you enjoyed this hour more than the 3 pathetic hours of Raw. So, yeah, that's it, guys. Please do hit the like button if you enjoyed the podcast, and subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And that way you'll know when we are going to be broadcasting next, which will be Thursday, like we said. Thanks, everybody who tuned into the stream as well. It was good to talk to you all, and we will both see you on Thursday.
Hey, guys.